What's up? Welcome to today's live stream. I'm him. Today is what is today? It's Wednesday. It's the 27th. I should have known it's the 27th. I literally just typed the title for the live stream. I did not realize today is Wednesday. But yeah, I said yesterday that I may come back, and I was just sitting on the couch. So it's either I was going to sit on the couch or go to the gym. I decided I'm gonna go to the gym later and do the live stream now. So here I am. I am not going to finish the video, even though it's still on. I haven't touched my computer since I left yesterday because I went out and haven't really been back much since. But that video is actually still on right now. But I'm not going to finish that. I've spent the last 15 or 30 minutes or so going through videos over there on my TV and putting stuff on my what do you call that thing? Like a playlist for the watch later, so I can watch some of this content with you all and start talking about some stuff. Let me make sure I'm streaming. I don't look going through videos over there on my TV. All right, I'm streaming. I'm live. Perfect. Man, I haven't done these live streams in so long. I used to have a whole like automation thing that was set up on my last computer, and when I bought my new computer, I was too lazy and didn't set any of that up. So I need to go and turn on a live stream on my TV so that I can see and make sure that it's running. Okay, all right, I'm good now. Let me go ahead and pop into the screen share. Make sure I'm sharing my screen. Yep. And like I said, this is the video that I didn't finish. Unfortunately, I needed to go, and I'm not going to finish it. But I am going to do, and I should have did this last time, and I apologize for not doing that. But I'm going to share the link to these videos. Again, it's been a while since I've done these live streams, so I'm a little bit rusty on all the things I need to do to make it a somewhat enjoyable or entertaining experience, maybe potentially. Okay, let me go to my playlists. Watch later. That's where I put all this in watch later, and you should be able to see all the ones that I put in here today, just a few moments ago. So let me go to, I guess, the first one that I want to talk about. Maybe kids can't read anymore. Well, some of this we can't watch. Okay, so yeah, I guess we're gonna do this. I'm just a girl. You're just stupid. This is from some person named Emu. Oh gosh, Yumi Verse. I think it's Yumi Verse. I think that's how you say that name. Apologies. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and share it. Feel free to subscribe. I like to subscribe to people who I don't know, I just support them. But yeah, go check her out if you end up liking what she has to say or whatever.
A few years ago, the phrase "I'm just a girl" became a very popular TikTok trend, where essentially, they took a line from a song. I think it's a Mazzy Star song, if I'm not mistaken, where she goes, I'm just a girl in the world. That's all you'll let me be." And the context of the original song is that like society tends to infantilize women and basically think that they're too incompetent to do.
That's true, but I don't like this abstract society, right? Like, I think we need to be a little bit more precise than just say abstract society, because in reality, it's not. It's people within the society, and it's a specific subgroup of people within the society. It's very rare for a man to infantilize anyone. Infantilize is treat someone like a baby, right? Like that's a very nurturing thing to do. And as far as I know and I understand, based off of the limited studies that I've done in psychology, that's not us. That's not really what we do. We don't really nurture. That's what they do. So infantilization is actually coming from the feminine side. And it just so happens to be the case that nowadays our institutions have basically been overtaken by that ideology, and now it basically oppresses everyone as a result of that, including men. We have this label called the patriarchy, and it's just some BS because in reality, it actually doesn't benefit most men. Just fun fact. Like I don't think it's a benefit that I am more likely to go to prison, or I'm more likely to have violence used against me, or I'm more likely to I don't know, to be like held accountable like at a level far beyond whatever crime I would commit, right? Like I could do the same thing that she would do and nothing would happen. I don't know if that's fair. I don't even know if that's equal, but I'm told that that's equality, so I'm just gonna have to believe it, I suppose.
Thing. And then TikTok took the sound and turned it into a trend where women basically say, I'm incompetent and I can't do anything. And it's so.
I have noticed that. I've noticed a lot of shorts these days with a lot of girls just saying, "Oh, I'm just a girl," and it's kind of insidious because you can't say you are my equal and at the same time say I'm just a girl and I should be able to pick and choose when I'm going to be held accountable. I don't agree with that. She's saying they're stupid based on this title. I'm assuming that's what she's going to say. I don't know if it's stupidity. I just think it's immaturity, but it could be stupidity too. Low emotional intelligence. What I'm noticing is that projection is a very common tactic. So whatever they're yelling at you about is likely the thing that they themselves are doing. So, or let's say they're calling you ugly. In reality, they don't like the way they look themselves, and that should be obvious, given that the first thing that they'll do when they wake up in the morning is make up a face. A lot of themselves and a lot of everyone else. Anyway, let's keep going.
Fucking annoying because like every time I've seen this song used or this phrase used, it's always after the worst decision making I've seen in my entire fucking life. Like I swear to God, I've
She
seen
curses
people
too
like
much. She curses too much. I just gotta say that. I do look at my numbers sometimes. I haven't looked at them lately, but surprisingly, I do have female audience. Ha. All 30% of you. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just keep going. Let's see what she has to say. I think that she's probably gonna ruffle some feathers. Let me see if there's anyone calling her a pick-me in here. Yep. Oh wait, no. That's their favorite word to use. Just like with men, they like to call people simps. Many men are simps. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how many women are pick-me's, but even if they all are pick-me's, that's fine. That's what they're supposed to be, I suppose.
videos of people who like literally totaled their fucking car and then their like dad shows up to like I don't know, talk to the other people, collect insurance, basically handle the entire situation, and the caption's just like I'm just a girl, I'm just a girl. I'm like, you're a girl whose insurance payments about to fucking double. You are a girl who just made a terrible fucking decision. Like I don't know. And not all car accidents are probably your fault, but like not even just that. Like I've seen people make terrible financial decisions. They'll be like, should I put this money in my should I put this $1,000 in my IRA or should I spend it on my birthday dinner? I'm gonna spend it on my birthday dinner because I'm just a girl.
The fact, like maybe $1,000 is a lot. I don't know if it is. I'm sorry, but $1,000 isn't a lot. An IRA, I want to say the max that you can put into an IRA, at least the last time I checked, was like $6,800. Let's see, IRA contribution limit, 26. Wait, what? Missed the 6. Oh, it's more now. It's 7,500. Yeah, so like $1,000 out of 7,500, that's like 1/8. You should be maxing out an IRA every year. Like it's fucking $7,500. It was $6,000 in the past. It's like $500 a month. You should be maxing that out, especially if you are relatively lower income, where you qualify for the the deduction. So if you make under a certain income, like your income is under a certain threshold, you can pay into a 401k or your traditional IRA, traditional 401k or traditional IRA. And whatever you put in there, you get to remove that from your taxable income. assuming you make, I think the last time I checked, this was like 2018, so it's probably changed a lot. But the last time I checked, because I needed to know, it was, the limit was 165,000. I don't know. Don't trust me. Go look it up yourself.
What the fuck is wrong with you? You have no retirement savings? What are you talking about? Or like I'll see people like use horrendously high amounts of money on like Afterpay and Klarna, that shit where it's like, oh, you can split a Chipotle bowl into 4 payments.
Okay, who in the hell is splitting a Chipotle bowl into payments? I I personally don't understand the new, like those types of what do they call, buy now pay later. I don't understand those services or those platforms. And the reason why is because, like credit card, I have credit cards. Credit cards do the same thing. You don't, like, you just put it on your credit card. You can buy it now. You pay it when the bill comes up. And if you don't want to pay the bill, you can just pay the interest, assuming you have a good rate. Which, I think on these days, I think it's impossible to have a good rate on a credit card. I haven't seen a rate below 15% in damn near 10 or 15 years. My rate went from like a 17% interest rate APR on the credit, which is high in my opinion. But it, like, one of my other cards, it went from like a 17 to a 29%, which is insane. I have good credit. Just put that out there. I know you may be seeing me. You may be one of my fairer brothers in this country, and you may be like, oh yeah, black people don't have good credit. I can assure you I have good credit. It may be better than yours, in fact.
You only pay $2 this month and then you pay it off for the next 3 fucking months. It's a Chipotle bowl. And they'll be like, oh, I'm just a girl with fucking $20,000 on Klarna on Afterpay that I can't pay off, haha. And I'm like, bro, like
20,000.
You guys,
I gotta see something. Average interest rate Klarna. Oh. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, wow. I guess honestly, so if you're someone like me, I suppose, where you do spend on a credit card, like most of my charges go on to Amex, and I have to pay it off at the end of the month. So it doesn't really matter what the interest rate is, because if you're paying it off, it doesn't matter. Now I do have a credit card that does have a balance, but that's only because I had like an 18-month thing, and I was like, oh well, let me just, instead of spending my cash, I'll just put it on here, and I got an 18 months interest-free loan that I paid off. I bought my camera, my A1 Mark II. That's how I bought my A1 like a year or so ago. I think it was a year and a half ago. I got it in December of 2024. Oh, what's that, 2024? What year is this? It's 26. Yeah. I think I got it in 2024. Yeah. That sounds about right. I think I got it in 2024. So I paid for it on a credit card, and they had a promotional offer, 18 months, 0% interest. To me, that's free money. I'm like, I was going to pay for it in cash, but it's like, hey, why would I give them, I think it was like a $7,500 camera. Why the fuck would I give them $7,500 all in one go when I could give them $650 a month for a few months? And that's what I did. I just put the money in another account, and that worked out. Now, I don't understand why, people can't, that didn't take much mental effort or energy to kind of like go through that scenario of like cost and spending and all that kind of stuff. I don't understand why that same type of thought process doesn't go through the minds of people when they're about to purchase something, right? Like, for instance, credit card debt. There are certain things that I will never put on a credit card. Those things are things that don't last. So let's say that except for like, I'll go to a restaurant, I say put on a credit card, I mean like carry a balance. I would never carry a balance for food. Anything that I'm gonna go shit out a few minutes after eating, I'm not about to pay interest on that. That's retarded. I would never do that. Now, that being said, there are certain things that, yeah, I would pay a balance on it. And there are certain things that I have today that I paid for on a credit card a long time ago. And yeah, I paid the interest on it. So for instance, this chair that I have, I'll kind of lower my desk. But this Herman Miller embodied chair that I have, I've had this chair since 2014. I bought this chair from the Herman Miller store, and at the time it was $1,600. $1,600 back then, to me at least, was a lot of money, and I didn't have the cash to just throw down on a chair. But what I did have was a high ass credit limit on one of my cards. So what I did was I paid it on my card, and I didn't get in the promotion, but I paid it off after 7 or 8 months. So yes, I paid a couple $100 of interest on a $1,600 chair. So I basically paid close to $2,000 for my chair. But the way I like to look at it now, or the way I justify it to myself these days, is I've owned this chair since 2014. I've never had to buy a chair since. So if this chair lasts another 5 years, another 10 years, this chair, the cost goes down to zero. Just like all of the other furniture that I have in my house that I've purchased on my credit cards. But the point being is that these are things that I can keep. Like, they actually have some type of value to me. Like, I actually use it. Like my Mac Studio, for instance, the Mac Studio that I'm using to stream right now. And I just realized that I'm not sharing my screen. But anyway, the Mac Studio that I'm using to stream right now, I pay for that on my Apple credit card. I get, I get like a 12 months, 0% financing. It's basically like, what do you call that? Like an installment plan. So all of my Macs, this Pro XDR display, this XDR display, this ultrafine iPad, my iPhones, Mac, other Mac Studio, Apple TV, all of my Apple shit, pay for on my Apple card. And the devices that cost over $1,000, I will pay it in installment for the 12 months so I can get interest free. That's the only way that I am going to put a balance on something that I'm going to have to pay off over time. Is that it's either going to, and that's today, obviously, because I have the means now. But even in the past, like, there would just be things I would want to get. I'm just like, I don't want to pay the interest because I always look at the cost of money. I think that's how you're supposed to look at any type of loan that you're considering. You don't want to just say, all right, I need money. You want to know how much does it cost for this money, because all money has a cost, right? So like when I bought my cars, for instance, yes, I financed my cars, but before I actually signed on that line, I've negotiated the actual final price out the door, and I know exactly how much taxes I'm gonna have to pay, how much interest charges I'm gonna have to pay. Typically, I pay my taxes up front. I don't like to pay interest on taxes. There are certain things that I think is a no-no. There are certain things you never pay interest on. Now, I'm a little bit more relaxed than my grandfather. His take was, you don't pay interest on anything. If you don't have the cash, you can't afford it. That was his take. I'm a little more progressive. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. If anything, I'm wrong. I've just decided that I'm willing to take that risk. It's like, I'll just use a credit card and float it for a couple months. What's up, Casual Economist? I dislike this girl. She swears a lot and has really bad takes on dating. I've never seen her before. This girl that you're referring to, I've never seen her before. Although I did subscribe to her thing when I added it, because I was just like, maybe I can keep up with what she's doing, because maybe she will put out something that's valuable. I don't know. But this could be the last video that I watch from her. We'll see. I believe she got famous on algorithm for her Trump rants, but her foul language on other topics is off-putting. Yeah, like she does curse a lot. And kind of on that point, I'm not going to say a name, but I'm going to try to not give out too many details so that people can't figure out who it is. But I actually knew a girl from college, who we were, where were we? I think we went to Costa Rica. It was either Costa Rica or Taiwan. I forget which country we were in. And we were going, where were we going? I think we were going back. Yeah, I think we were going from our resort to the beach. And on the drive, she was talking about something, but she kept cursing, and she was like, "Oh, fucking all this." And I was just like, I told her, I was like, You really don't have to curse so much. And I told her, I was like, you know, you're a smart girl. We both go to a very type of school. I can't say what it is, but we both go to a certain type of school. I know that you're not dumb. I know that you're smart. But for whatever reason, she just didn't have a vocabulary expansive enough to not curse. I don't understand it. And the reason why I didn't understand it is because, you know, I do these live streams and I can sit here and talk for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And yes, I do curse, but I don't curse that much. I don't know what my curse words per minute is, but it's probably less than 1.
Must be genuinely mentally fucking ill. It's not cute to be completely financially illiterate. It's not cute to make horrible decisions. It's not cute to be a fucking idiot and who's incompetent and can't do shit.
I mean, she's not wrong. She may be cursing, but she's not wrong. And you want to know something? I think we need more people like her holding her sex accountable for their behaviors. As y'all are probably aware, the pendulum is swinging, and there is a shit ton of inertia behind that pendulum. It's not going to be stopped. You know, we had the social engineering of feminism since 1920s, like the suffrage movement. We've had that, and it went all the way up here, and it didn't just go to like here. It went above. It overshot. So now that the pendulum is swinging back, well, it's probably gonna overcorrect. Too bad for them, you know.
It's actually really fucking annoying. You're not just a girl, you're just being stupid as fuck. What do girls have to do with this? Like, genuinely, it's so stupid. And I say this
I like that she said that. I appreciate that she just said that. What do girls have to do with this? Because just being a girl, that doesn't mean that you're stupid. I know plenty of not stupid women. All right, that's an excuse. I'm glad that she said that. That needed to be said.
Who like, and I do think part of it is like there was a point in my life where I was stupid and reckless. I was never that stupid.
Well, we're all supposed to be stupid and reckless. You're young, right? We all get that pass, right? Yeah, I guess I was stupid and reckless. Maybe I still am stupid and reckless. Maybe. I don't know. maybe I am still stupid and reckless.
803. I'm literally 23 and my credit score is 800 plus. And like I feel like
that sounds like a flex. And it may be like I'm 23 or whatever. I forgot what she said. And her credit is 803. But here's what I learned. It's very easy to have a high credit score when you're young because you don't really have any credit. You don't have a good mix. Right? Like that number doesn't really mean much. You'll go somewhere trying to get a loan and they're going to look at your score and laugh at you. They're going to be like, you don't have credit. And you'll be like, wait, 803, I have good. That's not how this works. Good credit is a history. For instance, me, over 20 years, no missed payments. Over 20 years, I've had over $2.8 million in loans that I have paid, right? Like, you know, things that like, you know, you buy cars and all that kind of shit. Like, you buy these things and you pay them off. When you have a lot of accounts that have been paid off, that's how you actually build your credit. When you have a good mix of credits where you have revolving credit, you have installment credit, you have mortgages, you have auto loans, you have motorcycle loans, you have boat loans. Like you have a diverse mix of all the different types of credits that are available to you. And there are a lot more than you may think. Just the number, that doesn't really mean much. But what I have found is that the people who think that number means a lot are the people who are the ones who are most likely to have to rely on that number to make ends meet in their lives, meaning that they rely on credit to fund their lifestyles.
A part of my life in early college where I was making bad decisions and I was like hee hee, like ha 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 ha, and I get that that's part of it, but like some of the people saying this shit are genuinely like 28, 29 years old. And I'm not saying that you can't be like stupid and immature and have a hee hee and make bad decisions at that age, but I'm saying like at what point do you like stop absolving yourself of any and all accountability when it comes to bad decisions that you make by just saying dumb shit like I'm just a girl.
So I hear what she's saying. She's trying to say like she's putting it on the person, the individual. When do they absolve themselves? I have a very different perspective. The society doesn't do it. It doesn't force it, so it will never happen. Like there is no incentive to absolve yourself, like to not absolve yourself from anything, right? Like why would you? Society is not forcing you to do it. There's no reward or punishment structure for if you do it or don't do it. It really just boils down to, do you want to be a good person and do, I guess, a good thing based off of, I guess, external morals, which, we all have our own morals. I don't know if I agree that it's we can point the finger at just the individual. I do think that they deserve the lion's share of the credit or the blame or whatever word you want to use. But I don't think that we can put it all at their feet. We also have to say, you know what, our society kind of enforces these types of behaviors. Like all of the things that they do today are things that we allow them to do. They were not doing these things in the past. So for me, when I look at things that are changing, I don't think that it's fair to look at one thing. To me, that's a signal of unintelligence, really, when you can't like look at a situation and understand that everything has nuance. There's always going to be a confluence of factors at play to arrive at a particular situation. It's very rare that is a one thing. That's a reductionist style of thinking that it seems to be very popular here in America, where I guess, I don't know, maybe we just have a population of people who think that every type of problem has a solution. And maybe that, and when I say a solution, I mean like a single solution and not a smorgasbord of solutions. And this is something that I noticed when I was teaching. For this work, I used to teach for the University of Texas. One of the things that I noticed with my students is that they all had this idea that there is a right answer. None of them, in my opinion, well, most of them, some of them could, but most of them did not have what I would consider great problem-solving abilities, nor did they have creative problem-solving ability. Meaning that, it's more of, hey, here's this problem, it's ambiguous. I don't really like. There is no known solution, but come up with something that kind of works. They were unable to do that. I don't know if that's something that can be taught or not. I came from a background thinking that everyone could do everything because I went to a public school where I was indoctrinated with this. If you put your mind to it, if you believe in it, and if you work hard enough, you can achieve anything. I was one of the retarded ass students that actually believed that. And I actually behaved that way and I did those things. And I guess maybe it worked for me, but I am told by others now that, William, not everyone's like you. Not everyone can do these things. And I disagree. I think people are just lazy. But that's just me. Maybe people can't do the same things that I can do. And if so, then I was lied to my entire childhood by my teachers.
I'm just a baby. Like, I don't know, girl math. I don't know all this shit. It's like, bro, you have no fucking savings. Your credit score's in the fucking gutter. You've totaled your car twice. You're drinking on a fucking weekday. You're getting like $15 drinks, several of them at a fucking bar, instead of like saving any damn fucking money. Like, at what is it just?
I don't think she's that smart. She don't even know how to curse correctly. Damn fucking. Anyone who knows how to curse people out, and I hate to admit it, I am one of those people. Anyone who knows how to curse somebody out, we know that you don't say damn fucking. What does that mean? She don't know how to curse right, but that's okay. We'll keep going.
Blatant
She's just a girl.
Excusing yourself under the guise of like being just a girl. And I do think that phrases like these are ultimately more harmful for fucking women, because it's like, it basically...
You heard what she said? It's only harmful for fucking women. So if you're not a fucking woman, then it's not harmful to you. It's only harmful to the women who fuck.
Puts you in this position where you can pick and choose when you're wrong and when you want to take accountability for your decisions, and then when you don't want to do that anymore. And I get that, like, I will say, I think that consumerism in large part is geared towards women, because women tend to do the majority of consumer spending. They also tend to, like, I don't know, buy shit like clothes, makeup, like...
That is 100% true. She's right. They drive most of the spending in our economy. And she's also right to notice, or maybe she didn't know, maybe she was taught or told, but I'm going to assume she noticed it, that most marketing targets women, or they will target emotions. So if you are a weak man who is more on the emotional side, those types of marketing campaigns will be more effective on you than someone like me, right? And this is actually why I think that, you know, our society has been socially engineered to 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 invert the natural order, the natural hierarchy of things, because our ruling elite who love money, they want more, they want to make money. And how do you do that? You can't, like, you're not going to convince a bunch of men who understand that they don't need shit to buy the shit. The only thing you can do is convince the people who only want to consume that they need the stuff. And, you know, assuming that we have a society, you know, where we involve the state in a marriage where you don't really marry the person, you marry the state, and you each report to the, in that type of society, it forces, it's a forcing function. We now can have growth. You know, we now have spending in our economy, and not just a nation of savers like China. You know, I think we need a balance. I think, you know, we need savings. Yeah, honestly, I think we need savings more than anything, but we also need consumption. But I don't think that we need as much consumption as our ruling elite is trying to convince us that we need. You know, where, you know, every single thing that you do these days, you get on the internet, you turn on the TV, you go outside, there's advertisements just being jammed in your face 24/7, trying to convince you, it's marketing, trying to convince you that you need the products that these companies are selling. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that that we are forced to be around propaganda. That's actually what propaganda is, for the source. That's, marketing is propaganda. I find it almost unacceptable that our government allows propaganda, or allows the citizens to be propagandized to this degree. But I guess it makes money, so, you know, of course, it's going to be allowed.
Even like household products, women tend to buy them more because, like, usually women unfortunately take on the role of like household.
I do have to say, I had to point out something. So I had the person who I thought was going to be the person I would marry, right? We shared a, wait, did we have? Well, we had a two bedroom, but we shared the bathroom, like in the master suite. We shared the bathroom, and what's always funny to me is just like how much of the stuff in the bathroom wasn't mine. Like, there would be 12 different types of soap from bed. Wait, what's that place where I've been single for so long. I don't even know the name of the store. It's some type of baby. I don't know. It's some type of store. They sell like soap and like lotion and some type of thing, those things that you put in the tub and they fizz, and they have those, I don't know what they're called. Anyway, I remember like there was just all that stuff, like all kinds of shampoos and conditioners and like lotion, and like in the kitchen we had like all these different teas. Like, I'm just like, it's just everything. Always. It's actually kind of crazy now that I look back, because now I've been single for so long. I have a lot of things, I suppose. I'm relatively old, so I have more than someone who's 20. But it's interesting how I have less stuff now, and I don't feel the need to get more stuff than I did when I was younger with someone. I hope that makes sense. Now, I did acquire more books. I do have more books. That's actually that's actually the most that I have is my books, and then cooking. Where, anyway, let's go back to this video so we can go into a new video.
Household cleaning, keeping track of what's in the house, what's not in the house, more. And so, like, I understand that there is an entire media empire that is targeted towards the female consumer, but at the same time, you cannot just use the phrase "I'm just a girl" to like excuse your own financial literacy. And I'm not even just talking in terms of like financial decision making. I'm talking in terms of like self-deprecating, like lack of self-respect ass decision making. Like when women are in like really bad relationships where the guy clearly is treating her very badly, she's in a terrible emotional state all the fucking time because she's not getting what she wants, and then she won't leave because she's like, I'm just a girl though. Like, I'm just a girl though. Like,
Do the girls really do that? Like, is that something that they would say to that kind of a situation? I don't know. Obviously, I am not just a girl, so I don't know.
Just doing it for the plot, though. I'm like, this isn't for the plot. You're just ruining your own fucking life. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And it's so annoying because I have seen like real life instances in which this like this false like manufactured sense of like, I guess like okayness, what's the fucking word here, this like manufactured acceptance for just sheer incompetence.
She must be a Gen Z. Is she a Gen Z? I'm assuming you know casual. You said that you see her content on IG. Is she a Gen Z? Is this how they are? Cause I've heard what, descriptions of how they are. If this is how they all are, man, my God.
Is just running rampant in women. It is. And I say this because I've like met so many women in my early 20s, just like through Pilates, through like I don't know, just through like different friend circles, different hobbies, different activities, where I'm like, oh my god, you're like stupid, you're like actually dumb as fuck. And I'm not saying that men can't be stupid. I'm not trying to say this to just shit on women as a
Okay, I see. I think I understand what her problem is. I think her problem is that she is above average. That's it. Because I also suffer from this problem where I'm talking to people and it's just like, man, like how can they be this stupid? It's actually kind of insane to me that the variance of intelligence in the human species is so vast.
be like a fucking pick me. I'm saying genuinely, there are some baseline things that you should be able to do as an adult, regardless of gender. Baseline fucking things. You should at the minimum be able to save some fucking money. You should at the minimum know how to do basic things like change a fucking tire.
Bro, she curses a lot. It makes me wonder, like, how was she brought up? Did she have both her parents? Did she do well in school? Like, wow, she curses a lot. And it's not just cursing, her vocabulary seems limited. Just saying. That's not my fault, as a millennial. It's not my fault that her I don't got shit to do with that. But
You should be able to look up a
she talk as if she got a bad attitude. She's very aggressive and masculine.
tutorial on how to do stuff and do it. Like if someone wants to do it for you for free, fuck it, yeah, hell yeah. But like if you're purposely just being incompetent and making your own life worse under the guise of I'm just a girl, you're not just a girl, you're fucking stupid, you're being dumb as fuck. Like no one will tell you that.
I don't
and,
disagree.
like obviously
She's right.
A man probably can't get on the internet and say this, so I'll fucking say it.
So she thinks that what she should have said, the correct thing is that most men are too much of a pussy to get on the internet and say how they really feel online in a public forum because they're pussies. It's that simple. We have freedom of speech in this country. And for whatever reason, not everyone takes it as seriously, or I guess they take it for granted, or they don't value it as much as they should. I have a legacy, right? My grandfather, his grandfather, or his father, it's a line of people who in my ancestry, they did not have freedom of speech. I hope you can understand where I'm going with this. I'm a descendant from people who were slaves. And at some point, people who were not slaves decided to fight for people who were slaves so that they can have some types of rights. And it wasn't all rights, but they at least wanted us free. So it's like, I was born free. I was born with all the rights. I was born with all the shit that my mom wasn't born with, my grandmother, my grandparents, my great grandparents, who I knew both of my great grandparents on my mom and my dad's side. I had all of the rights that none of them had. So fuck you if you think that I am not going to say what the fuck I feel like from my house, on the internet, in my country, in my home. My ancestors went through too much for me to just say, you know what? I'm too afraid of all these bitches who I don't respect, all these effeminate ass men who I don't respect. Like, I would be disrespecting my ancestors by not taking advantage of the freedoms that I have. And the number one is the freedom to think freely, which is the same thing as freedom of speech. Speech and thought are the same thing because speech is something that comes after thought. You know, thought precedes speech. So if you don't have free speech, you don't have free thought. And if you don't have free thought, you're not free. And one thing I can say is I will never return to the state that my ancestors did. And if someone would like to try to return me to that state, well then, you know, we all die at some point. It might be my time or it may be the person's time who's trying to take me. But, you know, this whole thing where it's like men are afraid to say shit because whatever reason, they're just pussies. All of the greatest heroes who I have respected, I guess I would say the world. Like, you think of someone like Jesus, for instance, or Martin Luther King, if you're into him, or Malcolm X, if you're into him, or Mahatma Gandhi, if you're into him, or Nelson Mandela. I mean, they all have their flaws, big ones too. Some of them I don't even like. But whoever you're into, you should understand that they had a hard life. Things were not easy for them, which is why you respect them. Anyway, let's keep going.
It is incredibly ignorant to not have any retirement savings, any savings, not care about your credit score, spend all your money the second you get it on like clothes and boba and like all of this like stupid fucking shit. It's stupid. And I've been there and I've done that and I've lived it. And that's why I will sit here and tell you, you're not just being a girl, you're just procrastinating any sense of responsibility because you don't want that burden to fall on you. And that is incredibly immature.
She is 100% right.
That we have to work on moving right. past as fucking human beings, as women in the society. Like, if I don't know, and it is hard, right? Because like, I consider myself a feminist, and as a feminist, I truly do believe in the economic, the social, political equality of women to men. But like, you know, we have to act like it for that to be the case.
That's where we disagree. I am not a feminist. I am an anti-feminist. I actually think that it's a corrosive ideology that has not produced anything of value. It has not produced any meaningful results that have improved our lives in this country. The only thing that I've noticed is that it's caused our country to become what it is today. It's one of the things. It's a big component. I do not believe that women are equal either. If a woman wants to say that she's my equal, she is free to show me and prove to me that she's my equal. But no, we're not equals. We are different, which is why we have different words to describe the different concepts that describe each of us. Right? Like the fact that we have two words, man, woman, implies that they are not equal. If they were equal, we wouldn't need two fucking concepts to describe the same thing. That's not how our language works. Well, it does kind of work. We do have synonyms, but in this case, man and woman are not synonymous. If anything, they're antonyms of one another. They are opposites. They are not equals.
Makes sense. Like, we can't be incompetent when it benefits us and be competent when it benefits us and then be like, oh, but we should be equal though. It's like, that's not how it works. It's like, you can't just like absolve yourself of any responsibility because of your gender when it comes to certain circumstances. And then
I get what she's trying to say, but I think she's wrong because you can do that. And they are doing that. That's the reality, right? Like, I'm one of these people where, you know, people will tell me what something should be, what should be the case. And I normally have no interest with what should be the case because I don't live in shit land. I live in reality. And the reality is that women, in fact, do often absolve themselves from any responsibilities. So what that tells me is that we are in fact not equal, because if they are able to do something that I cannot do, then that tells me that we are not equal. Just as if I'm able to do something that they are not able to do, that tells me that we are in fact not equal. And when I say not able, I don't mean a skill set, I mean a capability. There's a difference, right? Like I understand that, yeah, there are certain things you just need training or whatever, fine. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about capabilities. Capability and skill sets are not the same.
Turn around and then reap the benefits of them when it comes to other things. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Like, you guys are being stupid. Like, it's just like, it is so fucking apparent to me that like some of you all, you were just like, I don't know if you were just coddled when you were growing up, but you've just never had to face like any real responsibility or anything like that. But um I'm telling you, the house of cards will fall down. Like, it's all of those decisions add up to build an incompetent human being. And it's like, at what age do you think that you're going to get your shit together? Truly. I think that this behavior is excusable when you're like, I don't know, like 19 tops. Because at that point you're just like, I don't know, you're still like you're in like your first.
I think when she says excusable, she must be talking about to women. Because in my experience, it seems as if this behavior from them is excusable their entire life. From birth to death till death. Now, I do understand that there's less. I don't think the right word is patience, but there's less willingness to accommodate as they get older. But there is still always some willingness to accommodate that, frankly, does not exist at all in any shape or form for men.
2 years of adulthood, whatever, you're in college, you're making bad decisions. I get it, I do, like, whatever. But like, when you start working and you get a job, you can't just be like, I'm just a girl, I'm gonna go spend all my fucking money and then fuck this guy who's not good for me, and then I don't know, like, get a dog even though I can't take care of it, can't take it outside, ha ha ha. And like, you can't just start offloading all of the legitimate things that you are responsible for in your life onto other people. Like, at a certain point,
I want to agree with her. Like, I legitimately want to agree with her. I think that's how it should be, but unfortunately, reality, that's not the case. It's simply not the case. And you know, we built our society in the past in such a way, we organized it in such a way, and it worked out for a long time. And over the past 100 years, non-Americans, I want to make this clear, a lot of these agendas, a lot of these social engineering things that have been going on in our country for the past century have not been facilitated by Americans. Just leave it at that. Right? This is something that has been going on for a while. I don't know if we're just gonna I don't know if we're going to be able to shift ourselves out of this, because you got to think about it. Like, why do you want, if you're going to socially engineer a civilization, who do you want to attack first? Is it the men or is it the women? I think it's the women, because women have a very, very important role in societies, and it's almost exclusively their role. They raise the children up until, I mean, historically, it's like they raised the children up until around 12, 13. And then like they had to do more stuff with the father, that type of thing, at least for the boys. So what's happened is we have several generations of men, of both men and women, who've grown up under the current ideology, who believe the things that these ideologies say. And I say believe because, you know, they accept it as truth without having seen any evidence that actually backs it up, without actually having going through any type of rigorous scientific method or research, or none of that happens. They just accept it. That's a belief. That's what people in religions do. And I'm not down talking religion, right? But that's what faith is, where you just take something that's true without any proof or any like thing to rest your beliefs on. It's just I just accept it. This ideology is basically a religion, except it's a religion that removes God. It inverts the natural order of things. It takes the natural design that God created and it inverts it with something that a certain group of people want. And because it's one of these things where, for instance, no one wants to create policies or laws that are going to harm others. At least I think that's the case. I hope that's the case, right? Like most of these policies that we push through, they sound like good ideas. Like when you say it out loud, yeah, of course, I want my sister to be equal. Except, no, I actually don't want my sister to be equal to me. As a man who's been treated like shit for most of my life, where no one gives a fuck, where no one actually has ever come to my aid for anything, why the fuck would I wish that on my sister for her to be equal to me? That's retarded. I don't want my niece to be equal to me. I don't want my mother, my grandmother, my aunts. I don't want any of them to be equal to me. Like, I look at it as my job to take care of them, not the other way around. It's not equality. Their job isn't to take care of me. It's my job, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you like it. But, they're my family. It's like, I'm not about to just not protect my sister or my mother. That's not going to happen. So no, I don't even want women to want to be equal to men, because most men get treated like shit. Men are replaceable. Why, as a woman, do you want to be treated as a commodity? I don't know. Whoever marketed or propagandized to y'all to tell you to compete against men and to act against men, it's actually retarded. It's almost like these same groups of people marketing to men to go out into the jungle and try to fight gorillas. They've convinced us with all of their marketing for the past 20 or 30 years that no, we're equal to gorillas. We can do anything that they can do. We're smarter than gorillas. All like that's kind of how I look at this. It's just like, no, we should stop.
You just become a burden. You become lazy and fucking stupid and annoying. Stupid, lazy, and annoying. Okay, like and it pisses me off every time I see this sound on TikTok. I'm like, I just get this like level of anger because I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? What's wrong with you bitches? Oh my god, get your shit together, get your money up.
I love how she says that without recognizing that she is allowing an application to control her emotions. She just said that she gets angry when she's watching TikTok. As someone who's not just a girl, that makes no sense to me. Like that shit don't make any sense to me. If something's not making me happy or making me angry, why the hell would I continue to engage with it? That's stupid.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god, I will literally do it for you. Start a Roth IRA, put the maximum amount you can in that bitch. S&P 500, don't even fucking look at it. Don't even fucking look at it. Like, that's all you have to do.
Okay, so she just says some words. She talks as if she's someone who hasn't actually had real responsibility. Most of them don't. Most female, they don't have true responsibility. They're responsible for themselves, really, and even then it's barely. I think she just gave some somewhat bad advice, and I'm going to caveat this. If you are working within a company that gives you a 401k, you should contribute to your 401k first. I don't think that you should do your IRA first. Here's why. Your 401k has a higher limit of money. Like, it has a higher amount of money that you can put more money into your 401k. Put it like that. I don't know what the number is for regular 401ks. But let's just make up a number. Let's say it's probably around $25,000 a year. So one investment vehicle gives you the ability to put away $25,000 annually. And it also potentially comes with some other benefits like company matching. So maybe you work for a company, they'll give you a match, whatever. It has some fees, whatever. But anyway, the second thing is your IRA, right? I think we just saw that the IRA is a $7,500 limit. So if you are going to do the game of planning for your retirement, max out your 401k, max out your IRA, and save 20% of your money. after of your take home. So I'll kind of base it off of what I was doing for the past few years, I suppose. I actually don't know what I made for real. I only know take home because I don't really care about the. But I think I put like 800 per paycheck into my 401k, and then there would be I think 400 per paycheck into my IRA, and all of the taxes, all the insurance, whatever shit gets taken out, and then whatever lands in my account, 20% of that immediately goes into my savings account. After a few months, because I don't like to have more than $10,000 in any of my accounts, what I'll do is I'll take whatever is over 10 grand and I will throw that into my my investing portfolio, which is not an IRA. I actually have an investment portfolio where I can do whatever the hell I want, which is separate from my IRAs and my 401ks. That's how I do it. And I think that's probably the better way to plan for your retirement, because if you're my age, it's unlikely that you are going to be able to get access to Social Security or any type of government assistance. So you want to think about that. And I don't think that you should rely. You shouldn't put all your eggs in growth, right? So let's say that you want to say, you know what, I'm going to rely on the possibility of the market going up by 5, 6, 8%. Let's just say 8% year over year for the next 10 years. So you're like, I'm going to put less money and I'm going to allow growth to occur and like make up the gains. I don't think that's a smart move because I don't have much faith in the future. Here's why. We've experienced this massive amount of growth as a result of a population boom. We went from around 2.5 billion people on Earth in like the 1940s to about 8.5 billion people on Earth today. And it just so happens that not that long ago, I think it was a few months ago, for the first time, we have seen a peak in population. Earth's population is now going down. And you see this happening, you see this bearing out in the demographic data across pretty much every developed nation. The birth rates are plummeting. The birth rates in most of the Western, let's just say in the developed nations, I don't think there's any country that has a birth rate of over 2 except for Israel. Most of the birth rates in the developed nations are 1.5 and below. And even then, the 1.5, a lot of that is due to immigration. Immigrants will come here, they have children, and they get counted as part of our demographics for population growth. But in reality, Americans, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Taiwanese, Singaporean, people in like, what's that country, that Western Europe, like France, Germany, like they're not having children. So because they're not having children, we're not growing the population, and that's actually where we got growth. You cannot grow an economy without also growing the people in the economy. And because we've been seeing a genocide for the past 20 years with abortion in our country, we're not going to see unlimited growth. That's unrealistic. I don't know why, but here in America, we have this assumption that, if something occurred last year, then we can do better the next year, and that we're going to have infinite growth. The problem with infinite growth is that doesn't happen in nature at all. It's just like assume you have infinite growth. At some point, you're going to expand outside of the limits of the universe, right? You can't have any entity that exists in nature have infinite growth. So I don't really have much faith in the future improving. So yeah, I wouldn't focus only on just like an IRA. No, you need to start saving cash, and you need to do active investing. Passive investing, I think, is stupid. That's what most Americans do. If you're passively investing, you will never be rich. I don't even hate to admit it to you. I think you just need to learn that now. Like, if you want to make money and you don't have a wealthy family, I hate to break it to you, you're going to have to work your ass off, which means that you're going to have to actually produce something of value. You can't just go get a job and then put it in the market and just rely on that. That's not how this works. unfortunately. I wish it did too. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Casual economist. He said HSA too. Um, yeah. I guess I didn't think of that. So I've had HSAs in the past, but I've never contributed to them. They've always been funded by my company, fully funded. Well, not fully, because I think they would only give me like 3,500s, but the max that you could put into an HSA, at least at the time, was 3,800. So if I wanted to, I could put the other 300 in there just to max it out. The problem with HSA for me is you can only use it on qualified health expenses. And for someone who's healthy, that doesn't like that. That's not valuable to me. I would prefer to make use of that money in preventative health measures, like using it to pay for my gym membership. That would be nice. So like when I got laid off last year, I actually did look into that because like I have one from a long time ago. It has like 60 grand in there. I was like, you know what? I'm paying 300 a month for this gym membership. It could technically be free. Free. It's my money, but hey, it could technically be free. But no, I couldn't use my HSA to pay for my gym membership, which is a little concerning because the whole point of an HSA is to like lessen the load on Medicare, right? We want a healthier population. So why isn't it possible for me to use my HSA money? My money, mind you, is my money. I spent my time and I went out and earned it for me. Like, it's my money. I don't understand why I can't use my money to pay for my gym membership to support my health goals so that I don't have to go to a doctor and take, drugs prescribed to me because, the pharmaceutical companies who are backed by the oil and gas companies make a shit ton of money by selling me these drugs that don't actually solve the underlying issues. So yeah, I'm not really a fan of the HSA, although I do have one. Now there is also something called the FSA. If you're going to have to choose between the two, I don't even think I should give advice, but I've only ever taken the HSA. I've always had the option to either do an FSA, the flexible spending account, or the health savings account, and I always go with the HSA.
Just stop spending that money on dumb shit and stop expecting other people to help you because you're just a girl. Like, it's really that easy. Anyways, that's my rant for today.
All right. She's ranted. We can move on now. She curses a lot, though. Like, for real. I wasn't expecting that amount of cursing. All right. Next one is apparently China. They are going through another, body dysmorphia thing. I don't know. They have these weird-ass beauty standards in China. And I remember learning about some of these beauty standards in 10th grade. For what it's worth, I took AP World History. It was 10th grade. Yeah, 10th grade is when I took AP World History, and we actually had a bunch of books. I can recommend the one that we were forced to read over the summer before the class. Anyway, I learned about foot bonding in 10th grade during our Sino, Sino region, China, like that region, when we were going over the history of Eurasia, and then what was going on with the Mongolians, with the Hans, with the Manchu, all of the different empires, Qing Empire, Manchu Empire, the Qin Empire. By the way, that's why the name China, as we know it, that's why it's called China. It's from the Qin, Qin dynasty. Fun fact.
This is a pair of chopsticks, and for young women in China, this has become the new gold standard of Chinese beauty. Look, China and frankly...
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't get it. I'm assuming that they do this because that's what the men there are attracted to. That's the only assumption I can make. It's not the only assumption. I could also assume that the women there are just like the women here, and that they're going to do things that they want to do, and they're going to say they're doing it for themselves, when in reality they're doing it for the men, but the men don't like it. It could be one of those types of things too. I don't know, but that's sick. That can't even be healthy.
Rest of East Asia has always been known for perpetuating very extreme standards when it comes to women's beauty. And the thing is, nothing screams peak beauty than China's latest and greatest obsession with chopstick legs. This trend has become so popular that netizens are now actively going under the knife to permanently paralyze their calf muscles in order to reduce the size.
That don't make any sense to me. Like, I don't know, like, this probably, when I was there, what I noticed is that a lot of them have varicose. Is it varicose or varicose? However you say that, I got to figure it out. Varicose? Yeah, it's varicose. Yeah. When I was in Asia, what I noticed is that a lot of the women have varicose veins in their legs. And they're not fat. Like, let's be clear. Like, I know here in America, like, wait, what the hell is this? You will only see it in like heavier people or out of shape people, but a lot of them had this there. So the fact that they're worried about having the shape of their leg and not worried about, well, you got all these weird ass veins running through your legs, like green, like looking green. Literally, you see green veins just running all throughout their legs. It's interesting. Super pale too, like ghostly pale in a scary way, like an unhealthy kind of
legs. I cannot believe I just said that with a straight face.
Wait, that a before and after? Oh my God. I actually feel bad. I can only assume that you have to have some very low self-esteem to be so unsatisfied with the way that you look that you're willing to go and allow other people, like to pay other people to cut you up and like literally destroy your body. For what? I'm looking at this girl, like her legs don't seem that big. I don't know, maybe they are. I don't know. Like, who gives a shit? Like, God damn, bro. And they're doing this as if it's going to actually make a difference for them. And that's the problem, is that so many of them are going to do this. And from what I understand, in China, a lot of the men ain't really trying to mess with them like that anymore because they're too demanding. You know, they want these bride prices. They have bad attitudes. They want to spend the man's money, and it's a whole bunch of issues. So it's like they're doing all of this thinking that they can overcompensate in their appearance to attract the man instead of focusing on themselves internally, like becoming a better person. And that, to me, honestly, that's the problem that I've noticed with a lot of females. It seems as if they are allergic to doing any kind of work on themselves. I've noticed that there's this rhetoric where, you know, they'll blame everything around. Everything else is the problem. Everything else is the problem. You know, everyone else is wrong. But they'll never look inwardly and say, you know what am I doing that's getting me these results? You know, like, why is it that I consistently get these types of results? And it's just like, oh, it's all men. And it's like, well, I don't know if that's the case, because I am a man, and I can say for sure, I'm not doing any of those types of things. I stay in my house. I'm messing with any of these. So it's like, they need to, man, this is sick. And the fact that we have a society, and it's not just them, like we have issues here in America too. So like, even though this is China, I'm looking at it like a global issue. It's not just China, because it's happening here as well, with the whole women going and getting BBLs. And I've noticed it with how women take pictures. They all take pictures in the same way. Here, I'll show you. Hold on, let me do it. Oh wait. Well, you can't see it. Let me get the modeling on. Let me do it. That's how they all pose on the pictures, bro. Like literally every photo that I've seen in the past 2 or 3 years, they all take the same pose, the same photos with the same poses. And you know what that tells me? It tells me that they are objectifying themselves. Why the hell are you taking a picture and showing your ass? Just kidding. Like, help me understand. Who the fuck wants to look at your ass? Are you doing that for your girlfriends? You're showing your ass for your girlfriends in the pictures when you're doing all that shit right there? Like, I'm noticing this, and it's like, it's happening everywhere. It's not just in America. It's not just in Asian countries. It's happening in African countries too now, interestingly. You don't like that she pose? The she pose or the one where they're like that, some bullshit. Fucking. Oh man.
Pause. Let me get this straight, because I don't think we're fully comprehending how absurdly deranged this procedure is. These young women are voluntarily going through a procedure called calf reduction surgery, where licensed or unlicensed doctors, I don't know at this point, directly inject Botox into the muscles of their legs, which acts as a paralyzing agent.
Oh my god. Come on. Don't these women have fathers in their lives? I know this is gonna sound racist, but I thought it was only black people who didn't have their fathers in their lives. Is it Chinese people too? Is that why the Chinese women doing this dumb shit? What else can it be? I feel like I would feel like a failure as a father if my daughter did shit like that. Like as a parent, right? Shouldn't you instill a sense of self-esteem into your children so that they don't do dumb shit like this? I think this is a failure of parenting. You know, I think a lot of folks, they like to look over in China and say, oh, they're doing a great job. But like, I don't know. Like if you're only looking at one outcome, then yes, sure. But I think we need to start looking at all outcomes. And when you look at all outcomes, maybe their parenting style isn't necessarily better than the parenting styles in the West or anywhere else. I say that because when you look at the countries that have the lowest, what do you call that rate? The lowest fertility rates, they're all Asian. When you look at the countries with the highest suicide rates, a lot of them are Asian. Just a pattern, you know. Pattern recognition is a thing, apparently, and I'm doing it.
Over a prolonged period of time, with multiple Botox procedures, the calf muscles begin to physically shrink from the paralysis.
Nah, bro, like, nah, her parents don't love her. That has to be it. That has to be it. There is no way I'm allowing my daughter to go through something like, what the fuck? So that she can look like a cartoon character for a few weeks and then deal with like life-altering issues for the rest of her life when the fat goes away, or when you actually need to use those muscles in your legs and you don't have them. This is sick.
Agent. And in other words, netizens are actively paying thousands of dollars to paralyze themselves. Nope. I'm being dead serious.
外侧就完全给你纠正了，我的内侧之前是凹凸凹这种感觉，可以看到这个线条非常流畅。
I think I see the issue. least the two that I've seen, or maybe technically I've seen 3 so far. They're all what I would call skinny fat. That's also an issue over there. Diabetes, liver disease, a high amount of what is the fat that's like within that surrounds your organs. I forget what kind of fat that is, but some of the issues that are in Asia that you don't hear about unless you are there, you go there often. But yeah, I'm looking at her legs. These legs look like the legs of someone who's skinny fat. Someone who's skinny fat is someone who does no form of exercise. They've lost all, like they have no muscle definition. They're not fat by any traditional metric, but they have the same, I guess, the same, what am I trying to say? They are not more, they're no more in shape than a fat person. How about that? Like a fat person would struggle to do whatever. They would struggle just as much to do whatever. And I can tell that she's skinny fat by looking at her legs. Just, it's obvious. If you go to a gym and you're around girls who work out a lot, you know what girls' legs look like when they actually exercise. They don't look like this. So instead of going and getting a surgery, this woman could have gotten a gym membership. And that probably would have been the better thing to do because it's going to build character. And it's also a lifestyle change, right? Where you do this thing, it's going to have health benefits, and it's something that you can do continuously, and it's going to support you in other aspects of your life. Whereas this is just like a waste of money, and it's going to ruin her life. When she could have just exercised, start doing some squats, start doing like leg extensions or lunges are a good one, really, lunges.
What?
Like, who decides to wake up one day and go, hey, let me just permanently cripple myself for the rest of my life? Wouldn't that be a great idea? Said no one ever.
How dumb are you?
And you thought I was done? No, no, no. It gets even worse. Apparently for Chinese netizens, paralyzing your calf muscles is only the beginner package. If you want that first class premium chopstick legs experience, you're going to be needing to fork up close to $150,000 for a process called neurotomy, which involves the surgical removal of the nerve that controls calf muscle development. Let me be clear what this entails. A surgeon cuts open your leg, they dig through your tissue to find the nerve responsible for your calf muscle, and they cut it. And the scary part,
my God.
Once it's cut, it's gone. Forever.
Oh my God.
This
is, we had an issue like this here in the West with the some of the guys who have low self-esteem. They're weak in my opinion, but like we had some men. I struggle to call them men, but they're men, I suppose. They decided to go to other countries so they can do leg lengthening surgeries so they can become taller. This is that same thing. Or if you've ever heard of that guy named Clavicular, the guy with the looks maxine, he hammers his chin. It's the same underlying pathology, I think. I want to be careful here. I'm saying I think because I don't know. I want to be clear here. I'm very far outside of what I know right now. I'm just saying what I think.
permanent. Yes, permanent surgical procedure that you can't just wake up one day and go, hey, you know what? I've changed my mind. Your calf muscles will never grow back. They're gone, buddy.
So you're telling me?
My legs are gone.
Yeah!
Now, I am no surgeon, but I don't think purposely crippling yourself for the rest of your life in order to conform to some unrealistic.
Yeah, you're gonna do this to conform to some beauty standard, but look at how you walk. This is going to be some words that, depending on what type of person you are. This may hurt you, but men who have means, money, resources, all of the things that they claim that they want, those men are very unlikely to ever want to get with someone who's crippled. I know in the movies and the rom-coms and all those romantic dramas and all that, like that kind of shit happens. But I don't think that would happen unless there is already a very strong relationship there, aka like the person became crippled. At that point, that's different. But it's unlikely that a cripple, even if they are pretty, are going to get married to the man who they are trying to get married to by doing these types of procedures. It's a self-defeating move that this woman did. Like, why would you do that? Because now you're going to have these health issues, and any man who has resources, who's worked to get to where they are, chances are they have some type of sense. They're smart. I haven't met many rich people who are dumb. Many of them are way smarter than you would think. They're going to look at that and they're going to say, like, I'm going to have to deal with that. That's what I'm thinking. If I saw a girl and I saw her limping and shit, and I know she has medical issues and all that kind of stuff, I'm not trying to pursue that. Like, that's a liability. Why would I do that? Especially if I'm trying to have children. Why would I want weak children?
Beauty standard is meant to be peak beauty. Look, I get it. I genuinely do. The internet is at a very Chinese time of their lives.
What?
Oh man, this is what happens when you have a culture in like what we have in the West, where people just believe that they can identify with whatever they want. Because we have a society that's allowed it. And the reason why we have a society that's allowed it, it goes back to what I said in the past. It's been feminized. So now you can be whatever you want to be. Until reality comes. And then now when reality comes, now you got to fight everyone else to try to reject reality just as much as you are. This is an issue. This is a mental disorder. Chinese is a nationality. It's also an ethnicity, but it's like, no, you're not Chinese, girl. You don't even, I don't even know if you can speak the language.
What?
But when did we begin starting to unironically cosplay One Piece characters for the sake of it? Come on, guys. To give you a bit of context, I'm in my mid-20s. I'm getting to Unk status.
Wait, this dude is mid-20s? This man is mid-20s. Wow. He looked much older than mid-20s. I thought he was my age. I'm old. Like, I'm not saying I'm young or old. I'm 37, right? I thought he was my age.
To give you a bit of context, I'm in my mid-20s. I'm getting to Unk status. Relax, buddy, I'm not that old just yet, but I am starting to get lower back pains when I strain my legs for too long. It's a commonly known fact that you begin to lose muscle mass as you age, but when you expedite that process by, I don't know, injecting Botox to paralyze your own muscles, what's going to—
Whoa. Don't they have a Hippocratic oath in China? Don't their doctors have to go through this? I don't know about the medical industry. I assumed that because we have doctors from all over the world here in America, that the medical training there's some type of standardization between countries, at least the G20 countries, I assume, in China. That's what I thought. But if they don't have a Hippocratic oath, that may explain why they're doing this. But if you signed a Hippocratic oath as a doctor, would you be allowed to do this in America? Can you do this in America? I don't know where women get BBLs. I don't really follow that kind of stuff. I assume they get them out of the country. But is that legal to get here in America? I know that plastic surgery is, which, I also have issues with that. But plastic surgery is also useful for other things that are not just vanity, accidents happen, that type of thing.
Left when you're 80 years old. I'm trying to imagine what the retirement village for these netizens would look like, because explain to me, how the do you walk if you have no leg muscle? Look, all I'm saying is wheelchair sales will probably be through the roof.
This man thinks like me. He's like, yeah, wheelchairs. Yeah.
Thin beauty law is no different, and Chinese popular media loves to push the idea that the more you look like Slender Man, the more attractive you become. This shit.
Yeah, I've never understood that. I have never been attracted to that look. I've never been attracted to that. I'm just like, no, I'm good. Nah, I'm good.
So diabolically nonsensical that Stephen Hawking, arguably the most famous cripple of all time, decided to write a rap verse about this.
Chopstick legs.
God damn, I did not know Stephen Hawking had bars like that.
Got no idea what you're messing with, dear boy. I got 12-inch rims on my chin, that's how I roll, y'all. You look like someone glued a mustache on a troll doll. I'll be stitching up the brain like gravity stretches stuff.
Jokes aside, it's important to recognize that these surgical processes and calf removal procedures are permanent. While you can regrow a muscle, you cannot uncut a nerve. Once that shit is gone, it is gone forever.
Leave now and never come back.
The problem is Chinese social media continues to perpetuate unrealistic beauty standards, and unfortunately it's often young women who feed into these insecurities by undergoing these surgical procedures.
See, that's the thing. Like, what's at the root of those insecurities? I think it comes from parenting. Now, my assumption of where I think that comes from is not drawn completely out of thin air. All right. Let's just say that I have more experience dealing with that than I would like to have, due to the nature of who I was with for so long. It was a common thing, very insecure. I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about just like, it was a constant thing. It was very weird to me because I am not used to that. I grew up around black women who like, it's the opposite. I'm not used to, constantly second guessing. And when I say second guessing, I'm not talking about what my decisions are. I'm talking about like themselves. I'm like, yeah, you're fine. You don't need to do any of that. It's like this constant, just like, I don't know. It was weird. I didn't understand it, but I've had a lot of conversations. Obviously that's something that you do over the period of time with someone you're with. And it seems as a lot of that comes from how she was raised. And it turns out that it wasn't just her. A lot of them, to the point where I recognize this pattern where it's like they all kind of, have some of the same issues. I don't get it, but hey, the more you know.
Let me re-emphasize that these are permanent, irreversible procedures, and yet cosmetic clinics are often not performing any meaningful psychological evaluation.
Wait, hold on. So this woman, she was actually fine.
Emphasize that these are permanent, irreversible procedures, and yet cosmetic clinics are often not performing.
Yeah, like she's fine. I don't understand. Her legs look fine. She's not. I mean, she's slightly heavy set, but like she's not. She's okay. I mean, she do have fat thighs or fat calves, but all she really needs to do is go to a gym. That's it. Like, and when I say go to a gym, I don't mean like how they normally go to a gym where they think they just go into the gym and breathe the air and the shit will work. I mean like go to the gym and actually work out. Work out with a man. those legs will get toned. She doesn't need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. She doesn't need to do any of this surgery bullshit because she's already starting from a good point. She just needs to cut maybe a pound or two, maybe, I don't know, lose a little bit of fat, but like she's mostly okay, I think.
Any meaningful psychological evaluation before putting someone under the knife. To me, it's common sense, but there must be something inherently wrong with a system that allows a 19-year-old to walk into a clinic, hand over
Agreed,
and come out.
See, that's what I was trying to get at, where I'm like, this is deeper than just them wanting to do it. Like this is coming from somewhere else. And the fact that this is allowed, you would assume, well, maybe you can assume because of, for China, I understand why the doctors they operate the way they do. I understand it. But I had thought that with them trying to ascend into, the global order, that they would at least try to match their medical industry with the rest of the world, at least when it comes to ethics. So we're not like organ harvesting, but that is a thing that happens there. So I suppose if you're in a country that thinks it's okay to harvest organs from political enemies or children or women or whoever, then maybe it's not that big of a deal to allow a 19-year-old girl or even an 18-year-old girl, or however, it doesn't even matter what their age, to allow any female to go in there and destroy herself because of how she's feeling at that time. This happening to me is a symptom of weak leadership. And I'm not talking about politically. I'm talking about the hierarchy, the natural hierarchy. That's what this seems like to me. I don't think any female who feels secure and who has a sense of self-esteem because the society gives her that, I don't think that they would ever choose to do what these women are doing.
A severed nerve. All because she was under the influence of an algorithmically manufactured ecosystem that takes advantage of her own insecurities.
不是脸小好看，是头帮脸好看；不是长脸好看，是窄脸好看。
Are you dumb?
And look, I am not one to judge, but some of these before and after photos of some of these girls who have gone through the calf removal process is intimidating.
They all have filters on. That's not their real faces, by the way. Honestly, they don't look that attractive to me. I understand, they're not doing this for my gays, obviously, but I don't even think they're doing it for the gays of the men in their own country, because the men there don't like it. So it's like, I don't know who they're doing it for, but it doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. To be like skinny and lanky and like weak looking, they just look unhealthy.
These are four motherfuckers I do not want to mess with. Or maybe I do. Who knows? Now, before you cancel me, I do need to preface that was a joke.
It's only
Joke.
why you have to be mad.
What isn't a joke though is how prevalent the rise of the chopstick leg trend has become across Chinese social media. There are thousands of clips of young women parading through the streets of China showing off their long, slender legs in an effort to garner a reaction from the public.
What she's doing reminded me of something that I experienced in two places. One was in Africa, in a country called Equatorial Guinea. And I want to say I was on Malabo. I think I was on Malabo. Let me confirm. I was on the island of Equatorial Guinea. I think that's Malabo. Yeah. I was on Malabo, and I can probably find the hotel I was saying that. There are not that many hotels here. Anyway, I'll just explain what I was doing. So I was in Malabo, and I came across some supermodels. These were black supermodels, like African black supermodels, and I mean supermodels. Like they were all tall, incredibly tall, my height tall. I'm 6'4". You know, they were my height with their heels on, so you know they're at least 6 feet. They all had long legs, like very long legs. You know, they were slender and all that kind of stuff. But the difference between them and this is that they had like muscle. It was tone. And she reminds me of something that I experienced when I was in Asia. I don't know how or why, but it seems like wherever I go in the world, I get a lot of attention. I don't understand it. I really don't. But yeah, I was in Korea, and I went to. I think I was in Ladi. I went to Ladi Tower, if I'm not mistaken. Let me confirm. I want to make sure that I'm not getting names wrong. I don't speak Korean, and I don't actually know the name of the tower. But I think it's called Ladi Tower. I'll know it if I look at it. Let's put a. How do I do that? Here. No, that's not. That's not it. Gosh, what is it called? It's like fuck, Ladi Hotel maybe. Ladi Hotel. It keeps coming up here. I don't think this is it. Oh, it's okay. Oh my gosh, South Korea. Like that don't look like this. Is it? And it's still showing me Florida. Why does it keep trying to show me Orlando? I would like. I don't ever want to see shit in Florida. Disgusting state. Like, why is it going to Florida? All right. Anyway, I don't know the name of the tower. Oh, that's Tokyo Skytree. What's this? It? No, Tokyo Skytree. No, that's not it. It's not even the right place. In Korea. I'll just look for it. I kind of know where it is in Korea. Only because I have this weird memory where if I go somewhere and I either walk there or drive, or like if I go there myself, I basically know how to get there forever. Here it is. Where is? All right, fine. I don't know how to. Obviously, I don't know how to use Google Maps, or not Google Maps, Apple Maps. But anyway, I ended up coming across a. I don't know what she was. My only guess is that, man, she had to be like a daughter of a chaebol, bro. That's the only thing. Because when you're in Korea, man, I mean, it's not just Korea; it's everywhere. You've been, like you see certain people, and they just look normal, but then every so often you see other people, and they just look like they live a different kind of life. You know what I mean? Like, the way they're dressed, the way the clothes fit on them, you can tell that it's custom tailored, that type of shit. She was one of them. Like she had to have been from one of those families. Anyway, she was incredibly tall and slender, with those types of legs, and I call it preening. I did notice that she was preening unnecessarily. To be far out left, like, I'm getting out of here. I'll show y'all what preening is, just so y'all know. Maybe. Man, I can't type today. I can't. Oh, fuck it.
You know what? Same, bro. Imagine you're about to clock on to your 9 to 5, and this is the type of shit you have to deal with on your way to work. But no, there's more.
Focus. Focusing. I'll read it. It's not gonna focus. Basically, to trim or dress. That's it. It's something that birds do to their feathers. This This looks like AI. That's not even real. This is AI. This isn't real. And if it is real, this is a filter. You can tell. Hopefully y'all can. Oh, y'all don't even see it. Let me put it in. Yeah, this has to be AI. She doesn't look real. This background doesn't look real. Her skin doesn't look real. Her face doesn't look real. Her height doesn't look real. We have replicas of these phone booths in my neighborhood. I live in, I won't say where I live, but we have these types of phone booths. It's one of the special features of the neighborhood that I live in. They're not that short. I'm 6'4". There's no way I'm going to stand next to one of those signs and I'm like this and then it's on the top. It's more like I'm going to be like up like that. She's not that tall. This is AI.
Bruh, come on now. My homie just wanted to make a phone call and instead he's greeted with female Shaquille O'Neal. Hold up. Is that the same dude as the last video?
I think this guy's making it. He's probably the one making these videos.
He is again. Why is this bloke everywhere?
Why are you running? Why are you running?
To understand why Chinese netizens have become so obsessed with the chopstick leg trend, we need to firstly take a step back and understand the type of content that's being pushed across social media platforms like Douyin and Xiaohongshu. The rise in
Y'all notice that they are all doing the same poses. Literally. Like just it's like when you see them in a pack, you see her behavior firsthand. It changes you. It changes you. You're like, it's actually kind of wild. And if you've ever been around a bunch of cows and you know how they interact and just how they are, it's actually kind of insane how similar it is. It's insane. It's scary.
And Korean idol culture unconsciously sets unrealistic expectations of beauty for young women to conform to. Many netizens look up to these idols and superstars with their striking features, glowing skin, and perfect makeup.
Yeah, that's the thing is that I don't like that he said glowing skin when in reality, you don't actually see their skin. You're seeing makeup and all of the products that they put on. When you take that off, I can assure you, it ain't gonna look like what you're seeing here. I've actually seen some of the Chinese makeup artist people. I have never, ever thought that makeup could be like used in that way. They will take someone who is a solid 2 on a good day, on her best day. On your worst day when you're drunk, she would be a 2. They can take a 2 and turn her into a 7 with makeup. They'll make up hair, nails, eyelash, but literally everything about them is fake. Like all that. And it take them like 2 hours to get ready. And it's a complete transformation. I don't see why society accepts this bald-faced line. It's straight up lying. It should be outlawed.
In reality, they look like this.
Oh, see, this is actually true. This is true. This is true. Hold on, wait. Let me.
Reality, they look like this.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's actually true. How do I know this? Well, if you I have a lot of in the past because of my relationship, right? Like I knew a lot of them. And I would see their pictures on their, their WhatsApp. They also use WeChat and all the other things. And I would always notice how they never look like what their picture looks like in person. Ever. Never. I have never seen it. Except for my girlfriend. Like literally, like it's mainly, I'm just like, you look normal. To me at least. Like you don't have to do all this makeup shit. I'm fine. But like this is actually the case. They'll like take a photo. It'll be like the best photo. They'll doctor it up. They'll put filters and all this other kind of crap on there, and you will think that that's what they look like. And no, they don't. And hopefully there are some females who will watch this in the future. I do understand that there are some females here in America who, for whatever reason, think probably due to guys that women in other countries just simply look better. In my experience, going all around the world, most women look average, no matter where they are.
And look, I understand the appeal. I genuinely do. Because when you're being served a curated and filtered version of what
All of this is fake. All of these are fake. That's all. Oh God. Oh.
is when you're being served a curated
Yeah. This is all fake. This is AI.
and filtered version.
Or the filtering is what I mean. Like, obviously they're actually in there taking the pictures, but like they're using AI to, change the shape of the face, change the shape of the body, change the length of different limbs. They do all of that for real.
What true beauty looks like. Your brain begins to subconsciously set that as the baseline.
You're like really pretty. Thank you. So you agree? What? You think you're really pretty?
These extreme standards become normalized, and you begin to compare everything else, including your own reflection, to these unrealistic standards. For one reason or another, Chinese social media loves to glaze this one K-pop idol that is plastered on billboards all across China. Her name is Wang Yang, and chances are you've probably seen or heard her in one capacity or another. Hard to miss, hey?
Never heard of her.
Wang Yang is, objectively speaking, a conventionally attractive person. I'll give her that. And despite her questionable behavior at times, her face, outfits, and figure are now considered the gold standard of Chinese beauty. She is a fully commercialized beauty template that has been packaged, marketed, and distributed across Chinese social media.
I would say she's cute. That's it. I'm not seeing it. I don't really. I'm sorry. It's like I don't really like sticks. She looks like a stick to me.
At a scale that is genuinely
That's not to say I like fat women. I don't like fat women at all. It's the opposite of like. But I also don't like skinny. I like healthy. Like, like what people are supposed to look like. We're not supposed to be stupidly skinny. And we're not supposed to be stupidly fat. We're supposed to be in the middle. Supposed to be healthy, a small amount of fat, some muscle. For men, ideal amount of fat that you should have on your body is between 15 and 20%. 20% is on the high end. I would say 18% is probably where you should stop. But 15% is perfect for a man. For a woman, ideal is 25%. Between 20 and 25%. I would say 25% is on the high end. But even then, like women have more body fat than men. And it's fine. We actually prefer it because they tend to have the body fat in areas that men find attractive. So that tells me that it's probably there naturally.
difficult to comprehend. And if there's one thing that Chinese netizens can't get enough of, it's her legs.
What did you say? What the did you just say?
That sounded very weird. Let me explain. If you scroll through Douyin, there are thousands of posts that are specifically dedicated to glazing Wang Yang's figure, especially her tall and slender legs. It's gotten so extreme that netizens have now reverse engineered her proportions.
Hold up. Let him.
Okay. They've studied the angles and they've even created dedicated workout programs.
So that right there, I think this is healthy. Like if she's a natural girl, I assume her legs are fine, whatever. And they're now making workout plans to achieve that result. That's fine. Now, of course, genetics, we're all not going to look the same, but to me, this is okay. This is much better than, cutting the nerve in your calf muscle or injecting your calf with Botox that'll paralyze the muscle. So yeah, this is actually, that makes sense to me. I like this. This is solid.
Comparison charts, all curated.
Her legs are too skinny though. That's just,
achieve a similar look and silhouette as Wang Yang.
大腿不仅没变形，赘肉还直接消失了。二，瘦大腿后侧一组30次，每次3组。
Maybe I'm.
This is why they don't. This is why their legs look like that in China. This is what they call a workout. Wait.
二，瘦大腿。
This is what they're doing. This is a girl workout. The perfect exercise for slimmer thighs. Let's just kick our legs back and forth on the floor. No.
侧一组30次，每次3组。
Maybe I'm being overly ignorant here, but why does it just look like she's flopping?
Oh, okay, well he had the same take, so I know that I'm not just being mean. I have not watched this. I did not know he was going to say that, but I'm glad he did because that means that me and him we're thinking on the same page. What the hell is she doing?
Like a walrus. I'm still not seeing the connection between doing this exercise and creating skinnier legs, but you know what? 10 out of 10 for effort. The walrus would be proud. Look, at the end of the day, I am not here to shame anyone for what they want to do with their own bodies. Free will is a beautiful thing, and no one should be ever able to take that away from you. If you want slender legs, work for them. If you want Botox, do your research and make an informed decision. However, it's important to recognize and appreciate.
I'm going to go further than what he said. If you want Botox, you should reconsider your life decisions. You have issues in life. You shouldn't be like doing research. There's no research necessary. Don't do it. You are probably fine the way you are. And if you're not fine, you should learn to accept the way that you are, because that's actually what creates someone who is attractive. It's not someone who has so low of a self-esteem that they have to go and get surgery. And it's like you're still going to feel ugly because you're not going to get the reactions that you're expecting. And when you don't get those reactions, you're probably going to want to go and do more stuff. And it's going to be a constant thing. I have not heard of people who only get these types of treatments once. It seems like they start the treatment or they get some type of surgery or treatment or whatever, and then it's a constant revolving door going in and out, and it never really stops. And it turns out surgeons know this, and I shouldn't divulge this, but I wouldn't call it making fun of people, but they do in a sense kind of like mock in a way people who choose to elect to get surgeries. It's almost as if they know that someone who gets a surgery once is going to be a repeat customer. I won't divulge much more than that because I don't want to get other people in trouble.
That China's chopstick legs obsession is just the latest chapter in a very long story about a culture that has systematically decided what a woman's body should look like and how they should act. Look, if you took anything away from this video, it's the fact that these were designed for eating, not as a representation of what your legs should look like. Subscribe if you also think that chopsticks...
Well, you know what? If they get the results that they're wanting from getting those legs, or whatever, who am I to say don't do it? And who is he? Who is he to say don't do it? Anyway, so it's we're kind of late, and I'm about to go, I guess I'm about to go out to dinner or something with my neighbor, or hang out or something. So I'm about to go. All right. So if you enjoyed today's live stream, I would appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up in the, however you do that on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, I would encourage you to subscribe to me. I'm going to try to do a few more of these before I move. I'm going to be moving soon. And once I move, I probably won't be doing these for a long while. Yeah, probably for a long while. So I'll try to do a few more of these before I leave in a few weeks. And yeah, so if you subscribe, you'll see that. After that, I may do videos. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, y'all have a good night. Peace.